My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our predictions, our bets, and our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And this video is brought to you by BETU Play to Earn. BETU Play to Earn is the world's first online sports and esports betting game. Check it out now at betuearn.com. That's bet, the letter U, earn.com. And next up, at UFC Vegas 50, we have the main event of the evening. We've got Thiago Santos taking on Magomed Ankalaev. Yeah, because it's machete. Or sorry, it's sledgehammer. It's sledgehammer in Portuguese. Anyway, Thiago Santos is 22-9 overall, 2-3 in his last 5, and he's coming off that very underwhelming win over Johnny Walker. Magomed Ankalaev is 16-1 overall. He's 5-0 in his last 5. He hasn't lost since he was submitted by Paul Craig in 2018. This should be a striker versus striker main event, and it could be some fun. And at one point in his career, Thiago Santos was the hardest hitting guy in 2 divisions. And ever since that loss to John Jones, though, he does seem to have lost a little bit of that power. He does still have power, but he seemed to have lost. It's taken a little bit of an edge off, and he doesn't seem to be as mobile. And a lot of people think he beat John Jones in that fight, and he had 2 busted knees going into that and coming out of it. He's still fast as hell, though. He still has very real power, and he has absolute savage kicks. We watched him almost put Glover's lights out. What was that, last year and a half ago, with that very same power, but then he slowed down and blew his wad trying to knock Glover out. And then Glover just took him down, dominated from there. He beat Johnny Walker, but he did not look good at all. He only landed 44 strikes in 25 minutes. 44 strikes in a 25-minute fight against Johnny Walker, who's not looking to shoot takedowns. That was an embarrassing fight for both of those guys. He seemed slow. He seemed labored. It was a boring fight. But let's not also forget that Thiago Santos is a BJJ black belt. And he may be aware enough to use it in this fight because Magomed Ankalaev is a very good kickboxer. He's long, he uses range well, and he has his own devastating kicks. He will throw kicks right up the middle, and I love using this reference, like how Anderson Silva knocked out Vitor Belfort in that fight. He has power in both of his hands and his feet, and he's very versatile. If he gets in trouble striking, he does have a wrestling backup plan, and he averages more than 1 takedown per fight. He took down Ozdemir in his last fight and Nikita Krylov 3 times in the fight before that. And if this was Thiago Santos from 2018 who knocked out Jan Blachowicz, I'd be all over him, especially with a BJJ black belt as a backup. But he's 38. He's really starting to slow down. Ankalaev is probably just going to be way too much here. I have him winning. I think he does it with forward pressure, heavy kicks, manages range, and just constantly threatens that takedown to really get Thiago Santos thinking. I'm not sure we're going to see a stoppage here because Thiago Santos is a durable guy unless you get him exhausted and grapple with him. But I do think this is going to be a pretty one-sided fight. I don't have a bet yet here, but Ankalaev is honestly a pretty safe parlay piece. I mentioned some fights earlier in the night that I was very confident in. I will likely build a few parlays around Magomed Ankalaev. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, these odds have actually ballooned all the way to like a minus 575, which I think is pretty disrespectful for Thiago Santos and his abilities, because this is a guy that he still does carry power. It's not the crazy power he does have, but he's got enough power that if he hits you in the right spot, you're going to get knocked out. And being a guy that's came up to light heavyweight, he is a little bit quick. He's not going to be as fast as Ankalaev, but he is quicker than most people think, even with the 2 busted knees. If this was just a straight, if Ankalaev did not have the wrestling in his back pocket, and I knew that this was going to be a straight kickboxing match, yeah, I put Thiago at like a plus 150 or something. I think it'd be a lot closer in just a striking battle. I think he'd still be the underdog. I think Ankalaev is a little bit more dynamic in his strikes, but Thiago Santos is a guy that's been there with champions and looked great against them. And obviously he's changed. He's gotten a little bit older. But that experience, I think, is going to be able to go. I agree. I think that this could be a long fight for Ankalaev. And who knows what could happen in the 4th or 5th round if people's cardios are prepared for that. So I think Ankalaev is definitely the play. I think he's going to rely on his wrestling more than people think. just to be able to get takedowns and control to win rounds, because I don't think he's putting Thiago Santos away as easily as people think as well. So at minus 575, it should be a first or second round knockout. I don't see it, but he definitely is a play in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I do see it. Obviously, it's a little different if we go back to last week. Umar Nurmagomedov was minus 800, basically a guarantee to win that fight. I think it's a little easier to guarantee or be as close to it. It's a fist fight. Nothing's a guarantee, but it's a little easier when we're talking about a wrestler than a striker, because a striker's got to be on point the whole time. But I do think that Magomed will be worth it. I expect his price to balloon up. Somebody in the live chat said it's at minus 750. That is a lot. But I don't think he's minus 750, especially not on all the books.
I see minus 600 is the most I see.
Yeah, minus 750 is a lot. Minus 650 is a lot as well, or minus 600 is a lot as well. But you take him, you take two more good-sized favorites, and you'll end up with plus money. So I'm pretty confident in this. $9,600, you hate spending that much money, but I will have him in my DraftKings lineup because I mentioned this all night. There's only a few fighters that I'm almost positive are going to win, and he is one of them. And it's a tricky card, and I gotta try to get those guaranteed wins. So $9,600 in DraftKings, I will probably spend that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think it's. I think especially as you mentioned earlier, because it would be kind of him or Miranda. But you mentioned Julian Robertson is a value than Miranda. So you'd probably play Ankalaev and Miranda Ankalaev and Jillian instead of Miranda and someone.
Yeah, and like I said, there's not a ton of people that I'm 100% positive are going to win on this fight card. It's a tricky card, but Ankalaev is one of those guys that I'm pretty sure of. 61 strikes to 96 strikes. I'll have to dig in to Ankalaev a little more to see how much he actually lands in some of his decision wins. I do think this is a decision. What do you think about this strike line?
Probably more.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look at it. Thiago Santos
fight is favored to go. I'll tell you, the round line is 3.5, but does it go the distance? It's only a plus 115, so they expect it to go pretty far.
Well, and let's not forget, though, that Thiago Santos just went the distance and only landed 44 strikes. 44 in a fight that he won. So
it'll be a little bit different because that was more on Johnny Walker, I think, because Thiago's a guy that wants to. He's not a come forward guy anymore. Yeah. And Johnny was being weird in that fight with the counter coaching, and what a mess that turned into.
Yeah, poor Johnny Walker. Either way, guys, thank you so much for the watch. Go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Make a deposit. Let us know after you do. We send you $50. It is literally that easy. If you go to WeWantPicks.com, you will literally see the claim your free money here form. You fill it out. I'll reply to you saying received. I'll verify your account and I'll get you paid. It's that easy. WeWantPicks.com/bets. You guys are awesome in the live chat right now. Make sure you go to our free Discord. Everything we do here is 100% free. Go to the Discord, keep the conversation going, argue with each other there, and we will see you on Friday for all of our final breakdowns, picks, and everything else. We'll see you then.